everybody. Happy holidays.
The show's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's George.
22 inches of snow. Dickhead here just told me our editor's not working today.
Look at this. So George
Y'all gonna get a Christmas tree.
George gets mad because he has to edit the show if the editor doesn't do anything. So but I made it really simple. If you're looking at a fucked up fake ass background in the background, that's something that George just pulled through our green screen.
Yeah.
You know, George's editing skills are better than mine, so I can't really fuss him.
But for all you people who were snowed in yesterday, you had your choice: WEC or Strikeforce.
Yes.
Junior college. Well, I went with the college fighting.
Yes.
I watched.
And that would happen to be Strikeforce, right?
Those motherfuckers are stacked.
They're back, dude. I'm telling you what, man. I think their cards look great. I think they're fighters. They got a good crop of fighters now. They're hungry. I think they're, you know, obviously not big as UFC, but I think they're starting to raise some competition for the UFC, especially with their female fighters. Anyway,
King Mo's debut for Strikeforce.
Yes.
For all you people who don't know who King Mo is, he is a younger version of Rampage Jackson, in my opinion, with more talent.
Yeah. Definitely got a better ground game. The guy's got a phenomenal ground game. Was a high school state champion in Texas, and then got a full ride to Oklahoma State. Now he's fighting, and he's 5-0 after beating Mike Whitehead's ass last night.
Pummeling Mike Whitehead. Mike Whitehead came out and said he fought guys who 30 pounds bigger. I'm 50 pounds bigger. I don't impose my will. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that
didn't work out.
Basically, was snoring.
Basically
in the first round.
Yeah. On to the next fight of the night with one fighter I think who has nothing left to prove and should probably give it up, Matt Lindland. Matt Lindland lost via a arm triangle choke.
Yeah.
And he didn't look good.
And the fight he had before that when he just got viciously knocked out, man, it's hard, man, to come back. We said it several times to come back from knockouts that vicious. But anyway, other than that, in my opinion, that was not a very exciting fight. Basically, the next fight that we're going to probably cover is what was it?
Gilbert Melendez.
Yes.
Versus Josh Thompson.
Now, these two met earlier. You know, they used to be former training partners. They met earlier, and Melendez was the heavy favorite, but Josh Thompson found a way to beat him. Might have been the fight of the year. It was an incredible fight. Melendez was looking to get his shit back.
And he did.
And he did. 5 rounds.
Unanimous decision.
Now, the fight that everybody's going to be talking about, the main event, Cung Le said, fuck it, I'm going to stop making movies. I'm going to put this shit on freeze. Come back, tell everybody I still got skills.
And he did.
And that motherfucker got a nasty sidekick.
He threw more kicks from more angles than I've ever seen. He was impressive until about 2 minutes left to go in the fight, and he went to sleep.
He should have kept doing them donkey kicks, shorty. Because if he just kept going,
dude, Scott Smith his new nickname should be Head of Concrete.
No, just dude, like this, his nickname is Hands of Steel.
He's got a cinder block for a skull.
He does. And he's got a cinder block for a diaphragm, and he's got a cinder block for a solar plex, and he's got a cinder block for rib cages, because that's where Cung Le kicked him. He kicked him everywhere, man. And the guy kept coming forward. I mean, and he hurt him a couple times.
Couple.
Yeah, I mean, that guy Scott Smith, man, you can never count on the fight. We're watching the fight. I'm like, well, I'm telling you what, he better put him away. He better put him away. And one thing I did notice about that fight is when Cung Le had Scott Smith on the ground, Scott Smith was a strong guy. Like, he could not control. Scott Smith was holding Cung Le's wrist,
right,
and he couldn't do shit. And I was sitting there going, man, he is so much physically stronger than Cung Le. He can't put him away. Even though Cung Le is hurting him and putting him down on the mat, he couldn't finish the fight, which ultimately led to him getting knocked the fuck out.
Now, that wrapped up a good Strikeforce card, hands down. I think Strikeforce has been putting up good events. Their next event's going to be more impressive. They have a card in the future that's going to have Dan Henderson and Fedor on it. Right. But one thing Kevin and I want to do next week on our show is talk about the fight of the year. So you out there who are watching this and who are MMA diehards, you let us know right here on YouTube.
Yep. Put in the comments.
Who you think is the fight of the year. And if not, go over to our message board. There's going to be a thread up. Add in your 2 cents, and then Kevin and I will tally it up, weigh it in, and see what we think as well, and then go over the fight of the year next show.
Next show, yeah. And probably after the new year, we'll start talking about that.
On football?
Let's on the football, because
Redskins news.
Redskins news.
Talking to Shanahan.
Talking to Shanahan, but you know what? Forget Shanahan, because I'm going to tell you what. The hire for Bruce Allen. Bruce Allen is I don't know if any of you people know anything about the history of Bruce Allen. Bruce Allen is an incredible GM. He
was at the Raiders when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And then went to Tampa, was there at the Super Bowl, and won the Super Bowl.
And the thing about it is, what makes him really good, he comes from a family of politicians. He's used to being the buffer. He used to being the middleman. He dealt with Al Davis in Oakland. He dealt with the Glazer family down in Tampa. He is the perfect fit for what the Washington Redskins need. I was so excited about this. I fucking just blew like 18 watts.
Wow, that's a lot.
Same thing you do on Red Tube in tube 8 and all those other perverted things that you run before we film the show. And I gotta hear, bitches screaming and shit while I'm trying to.
And Kevin goes, "Oh no, I don't want to." Wait, what's that?
That was our perverted version of the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, now they're talking with Shanahan. Shanahan was one of the persons that apparently was big about Bruce Allen. So we'll see what happens.
Now, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the fate of two players? Chris Cooley, because Fred Davis, in my opinion, has looked good.
Yep.
And number 2, Clinton Portis.
I think Clinton Portis, because of his big salary, is gone. You got a lot of young running backs that have stepped in and proven. And I think running backs are very all these teams have two-headed monsters now. They're interchangeable parts. They're the quickest person to be replaced on a team, in my opinion. Chris Cooley still brings a lot. If you have 2 good tight ends, it's better than 1 tight end. I mean, that's basically the position they play. I wouldn't get rid of Chris Cooley because he never did anything he never slowed up his production or anything. He probably was one of our most productive players until he went out.
Right.
So I see him staying. Now, speaking of more changes in the NFL.
One more question for Kevin. Trying to get a little insight from a Redskins fan.
Right.
It's tough. What do you do with your first round pick?
If I was to,
because you're going to be picking what in the top 10?
We're going to be picking there's actually a guy local, close. Guy Bruce Campbell, an offensive lineman out of Maryland, probably your best offensive lineman to go. He's going to be your top offensive lineman. He's right down the street. He'd be at home here. They can go scout him out. That's who I'd be trying to get. That's who I would be going for. I think we also need. We won't get the number 1 pick. It's going to be a safety out of Tennessee, but we could use a safety. Because
you do not have a cover safety.
Yeah, we do not have a cover safety.
You have 2 linebackers playing safety.
So, yeah, we could use that cover safety. Will he be around by the time the Skins take the pick? I doubt it. If he was, I would probably get him the offensive tackle in the round. Now, Holmgren. Where the fuck do you think he's going to?
Meddling motherfucker, man.
Meddling motherfucker. But he said, you know what? I want a decision before Christmas. He's like, fuck it. I don't like what Seattle's offering me, so he's basically declined Seattle's offer. He's like, I'm done. So basically, that was basically, in one way or another, say, Mangini, you're done too.
Is he going to come back? I don't think he'll come back as the head coach. I think he's going to come back as like a GM or something in the head football operations.
He is, and he's going to immediately get rid of Mangini.
He doesn't like him?
He's going to see he's doing it.
Mangini, you stink, by the way. I don't like you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you should probably want to use like right guard,
I didn't see.
Someone told your secret. You left your right guard down. You're minning with
This is from 1982, so all you people born around then, I'm sure you're laughing it up. Shit wasn't funny then. It's not funny now. Sorry. Fucking deodorant jokes.
I ain't even thinking
not
about
funny.
So anyway, more somber news in the NFL.
Ooh.
I guess we cover all the bullshit. Sometimes we hate to cover this shit, but
this
obviously
sucks.
It sucks. It sucks for Chris Henry's family. It sucks for his children. His wife.
Before we get on this, you know what really sucks? Chad Ochocinco Johnson wants to wear Chris Henry's jersey today, and the NFL is going to have the fucking nerve to fine him.
Right.
Are you serious? And then the NFLPA said, we'll pay your fine. And the NFL said, no, you can't.
Right.
Come on. He's
Sometimes
not wearing like a pink bandana that says fuck the NFL.
Right.
He's wearing his ex-teammate's number because he passed away. And I was like, come on.
It got to the point where it was starting to get hyped up in the news, and this is where the NFL, the Players Association say what they're willing to do, and the NFL said you can't do that. And then it got to the point where it was just, it was hot. It's just getting too much attention, and he was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. It just sucks, man. I mean, it sucks how that happened. It was a very unfortunate accident.
Dude, that's some shit out of a movie.
I mean, did you hear the girl who was driving behind him call him? She's just sitting there.
There's a guy beating on a truck, and he's got a cast on his
head. Watching the whole thing develop, and it's unfortunate, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy was trying to get his life in gear. He had the Bengals, what you told me earlier.
Yeah, the Bengals were actually managing his money for him because last year his lawyer came out and said, you're broke. So Chris Henry, truly was trying to get his life to get back together. And dude, that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
This guy's been a habitual fuck up, and now, he's got his life back together, and he gets killed in a senseless act of idiocy. I wouldn't even call it violence. I mean, it's just
not thinking.
Got to fight over your wedding.
Yep.
I mean, I can understand because trust me, that's a lot of money to blow on one day. But your baby mama of 3 kids.
Right there. Yep.
So
that's unfortunate. I hope our thoughts and prayers are with this family and his kids. That's unfortunate growing up without a father. Moving on. No, we're going to do this really quick.
Yes. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Happy Hanukkah. Whatever else you celebrate. Stop the Happy Holiday shit.
Yes.
That's gay.
Real quick, the Cowboys said
not the Saints off.
Yes, the Saints are no longer undefeated. the Colts managed to stay undefeated.
I hope the Colts stay undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
I do too. I like to see the Colts go away and do it again. I think Peyton Manning and their coaching staff and that team is very deserving of that. And that's my nice words of the day. We're out of here. We will see you during New Year's.